Welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is our Friday stream, guys. Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, where we talk about all the trending movie news of the day. And yes, thank God it is Friday. We got a bunch of stories. Barbenheimer Arrives. Oh yeah, looking forward to that. Barbie, Oppenheimer, opening up in the theaters. Are you going to go see Oppenheimer in the IMAX? I think I will be. But first, I'll be seeing Barbie. We got some other headlines like Comic-Con. I guess San Diego Comic-Con is going on, so we got some Talk to Me there. It's going to have some, a panel there. TMNT had a panel there. I guess people got to see 20 minutes of that movie. Wow. And somewhere along the lines this weekend, we should be getting a Red Sonja trailer. I don't know about that. Some movies are being talked about being shifted around, like Saw 10, Dune Part 2. Might get delayed till next year, guys. That sucks. Oh yeah, the Marvel's trailer dropped yesterday too. We'll talk about that, but we start off today's show with kind of a downer note. Tony Bennett passed on this morning, or last night. The gold standard of singers everywhere dies at 96. No, 96 is a good life, guys. Vocalist, singer, and from everything that you hear about the guy, he was a stand-up dude, storied career. Jazz was not necessarily my bag, but I respected him because of his voice, his endurance for his career is just wow. And then like later on he did like collaborations with Lady Gaga, Amy Winehouse, and all that kind of stuff. So like he was always in it, right? He was always in the music. It was his passion, and when you think about his career, he'll go down in history as one of the best singers of our time, right? 96 is a good life. It does impact us in the entertainment news here, guys, because we are, aside from the movie news, we do celebrity news and, entertainment news headlines as well. So that just broke, and it's going to be hard not to talk about him. So there you go. Tony Bennett, rest in peace. All right, let's get into some lighter news. There are my other social media handles there, guys, if you feel like following along. Sometimes you get to see stories and stuff of me going to movies and such. So, yesterday the Marvel's trailer dropped. The new trailer takes you on an intergalactic adventure higher, further, and faster. So, I did watch the trailer, and Brie Larson, I like, I have nothing against Brie Larson. I didn't go back and revisit the Captain Marvel movie since I saw it in the theater, but it's there. Now, I'm somebody who did not watch Miss Marvel on Disney+, but I am currently watching Secret Invasion, so I'm curious to see how Nick Fury is going to get from that series to this movie, because he's not in space in the Secret Invasion. So the trailer does give us a little bit of a glimpse as to what this is going to be about. How about how all three of them can once they use their powers, they switch places with one another. So Miss Marvel switches with Captain Marvel, and then there's is it Tiona Paris from WandaVision? Is that her name, Tiona Paris? I think so. Yeah. Tiona Paris, right there. So, trailer. This is the bad guy. It looks like this is one of the guys that. This is the crew that was with the villain from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right? Looks like it's some part of his regime. Now, the trailer, I thought looked slick. Like it's shot extremely well. I know some people out there complain about the visual effects, but I'm not complaining about the visual effects. I'm kind of a little bit more worried that it's going to be really taking away from Captain Marvel, right? Because Brie Larson is the standout actress here. I got nothing against Tiona Paris. I liked her in WandaVision. But there is a huge difference between the acting of in a series, on a TV series, than in a theatrical experience. Samuel L. Jackson has done it beautifully in the Secret Invasion series. Oh yeah, and he put on his patch on the last episode, so we know that it's on. So there's going to be some things going on here where I don't know how, like, this is an intergalactic threat. I don't see how his current working with the Skrulls is going to impact this. So I'm very curious about that. Like, how is it all connected? I don't feel that anymore with the MCU, right? So when we look at the comments, we'll see if that's the same thing. Yeah, so this will be my first introduction to Miss Marvel. I'm just not going to watch the series, guys, because it wasn't meant for me. I know the people who watched it had lots of fun, so this will be my first experience of this. Now, some people, again, as I said, complained about the CGI. It's just CGI people falling through the sky, but whatever. It's not meant to be that. I don't know who this bad guy is. I don't know what her objective is, other than they said something about her trying to destroy planets. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Miss Marvel can do. For me, I don't understand why in the MCU everything's got to be a trilogy, right? Why does it have to be a trilogy? Just make a Captain Marvel movie and that's it. Or we don't need a third one of these, right? Because Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania proved that we don't need the trilogies of these things, right? Because even Thor is not immune to that. They've run Thor into the ground. Because everybody loved Ragnarok, Taika Waititi is like, okay, we'll give him the free reins, and then he just drove it into the ground. It can happen. And I wouldn't say that's Brie Larson's fault. I wouldn't say. I like her as the character. It's just, I want to see her in a good movie, right? We know Sam Jackson can work. We know that he can bring it. So, the trailer, my only observation about it was maybe a little bit that the acting is not quite up to snuff from these two. But it could be just the way that it was cut. It'll have a little bit more value and context when we see the actual movie. I know they're really trying to promote the team dynamic here, right? You can see all three of them there taking on the villain. This is a movie that's going to be impacted by the writers and actors strike, guys, because the actors won't be able to go out and promote the movie. So this may not be a big, huge hit for the MCU. Prepare yourselves, brace yourselves. Now, I'm sure that the comments are not going to reflect that. Okay, let's see what they say. Please, let's hopefully not see anything too audacious here. I loved how Monica Rambeau's entire character history is testing different energies out by walking right into them. Yeah, well, she walked through the shield in WandaVision to get her powers the first time. I'm not going to pronounce that name because too many people get on you if you pronounce that name wrong. So there you go. Is clearly having just the best time of her life right now. Okay, so she has her fans. This looks much better than the first, having Kamala. Again, guys, there's people pronounce their names differently. Like there's not one particular way to say a certain way of that name. All right, so I don't know. I'll have to look up the way she says her name, right? It's just hard to remember. I'm glad they finally established that Carol can absorb energy. It's been unclear till now. Watching for Monica. Hope they finally do her justice. Actually, my second viewing this trailer, I will say it's definitely better than the first trailer, even though I enjoyed that one as well. So I'm not seeing a lot of the hate bandwagon coming out for this one. I know that some people download an app that allows you to see the thumbs down stuff. It's an app. It's a third-party app. They could easily manipulate that to show you whatever you want to see. So remember, YouTube has removed that. So the so-called app that shows you the thumbs down, whatever. And what relevance is it? So what if it's got, say, 500,000 dislikes? That's interactions, people. YouTube counts that as people interacting with the video. So if you came to this to hate it, you came to this to say, oh, I just want to hit thumbs down on it, you're still interacting with the video and you're giving it, well, fuel, right? So, yeah. Overall, yeah, Marvel's is going to come and go, and I'm going to watch it because it's a movie and I want to keep up with the movie verse, not so much the TV verse, because after Secret Invasion, I'm not really looking forward to any other MCU shows. Like Echo, don't care about. I really don't care about Echo, right? I could give... sorry, I was about to swear there. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Seems a little bit back to basics, Marvel. Oh, and I don't care about Loki Season 2 either. Sorry. Oh, I just made all the Loki fans mad. Marvel, which I think is something they might need right now. Looking forward to this. So again, lots of people are looking forward to this. Good. Yeah. Good. All right. So, did you guys see that trailer? Let me know in the comments if you saw it and what you thought about it. I'm sure it's going to be playing on Barbie and maybe Oppenheimer this weekend. That's why they released it, right? So, let's talk about Barbenheimer because it is out. It is out now. So, and people have gone out to see it. So we got some early buzz. Let's talk about it. Barbie and Oppenheimer. Barbenheimer. Box office mania begins. Doll eyes around 20 million. So Barbie had around 20 million for its, Thursday night previews? And Nolan actually... Oppenheimer, surprisingly, had 9 million for its Thursday night preview. So that's really good for that 3-hour film. Remember, it's 3 hours, so they can't show it as much time. They can't show it as many times during the day, right? So for 9 million, that's huge. Oppenheimer is hopefully going to do really well at the box office. So, yeah, 20 million for Barbie, 9 million for Oppenheimer. It just goes to say that 20 million for Barbie. That's going to come in number 1 then, right? Because I thought that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 would get cut in half. It had a longer weekend here. So last weekend it was really around 80 million last weekend, right? But let's say Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, I would say 30 to 35 million this week. Can Barbie make more than that? Well, if it made 20 million in its previews, it's going to blow that out of the water. So here's what I'm predicting for this weekend's box office. Barbie's going to be number 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning will be number 2. And then Oppenheimer will be number 3. Now, Oppenheimer will have staying power because it's that type of brand of movie where it's kind of like, it'll be up for awards consideration. People will be talking about it, and it'll get a different crowd of people that won't be going out on Fridays to see it. It'll have that staying power of, well, people will go see it during the week. People will go see it next weekend as well. And then after that, because it's kind of like, they're not interested in the big blockbusters or the silly comedy like Barbie. And yeah, it'll have that staying power. So Oppenheimer it would be nice. I don't know if it'd be nice if it's number 2. It should be number 2, maybe. I don't know. It'll see, because Mission Impossible has gotten really good word of mouth, and as I said, it's growing. So, Oppenheimer, we'll have to see. Those are going to be the top 3, hands down. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. Sound of Freedom may drop off. Insidious, Red Door, Indiana Jones. No, I don't even think Indiana Jones will drop out of the top 5. Insidious Red Door is hanging in there, and good for it. So out of those, I'm seeing Barbie tomorrow, guys. So I'll see Barbie tomorrow afternoonish, I believe, and post my straight out of the theater reaction for tomorrow. I'm going out of town to see it, so I'll be doing that. And then Oppenheimer, I'm seeing 10 a.m. on Sunday in the pseudo IMAX here in the town that I live in. So I'll be seeing it there. So around 1 o'clock, I'll get out of Oppenheimer. Expect my straight out of the theater reaction around 2:30ish, 3 o'clock-ish, and then around 4 o'clock afternoon on Sunday, like always, we will do our live recordings of my reviews for Barbie and Oppenheimer. And we'll get those posted up on the channel before the weekend ends and ready for Monday's slate. But how are these movies faring? Let's take a look at the tomato meter for Barbie. 89% by critics, 90% by audience. So we didn't have the audience score yesterday because, well, it didn't come out, right? So this is based on the Thursday night previews. People are liking it, and that's what I wanted to hear. People just turn your brain off, funny, laugh. It's Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I need in my life right now. I need to go into a theater and just have a fun, relaxing time, chuckle and laugh like everybody else. And that's, I'm hoping, what Barbie is. And hopefully it'll have some staying power because it's going up against some horror movies. Well, Haunted Mansion and Talk to Me next week. Now, I want to see Talk to Me because I hear good things about that. But Barbie, those are good. 89%, 90% by the fans. Awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. ABC News says, even when Greta Gerwig trips on her ambition to make this hot pink fantasia more than the fun party of summer, you cheer her refusal to play it safe as she turns Robbie's doubt-plagued Barbie and Gosling's clueless Ken into a match made in heaven. Well, good. I don't know if we needed the word salad there beforehand, but okay. Huffington Post says, is Barbie a fun time at the theater? Absolutely. It will make you laugh at and maybe even tear up at times, really. For sure. Then the filmmakers and Mattel did their job. Good. Now let's take a look at some bad ones here. It's going to be kind of maybe hard to find one since it is ranked so high. Okay, so Barbie is working so frantically and exhaustingly to justify its own existence that at some point, top-like, it spins 360 degrees right back around to, wait, why are we here doing this again? Oh, so maybe a little bit of story issues in there, some repetitiveness maybe. I don't know. Guys, I'll be looking at this pretty much with an open mind. You guys, you've done full reactions with me. You've seen how I look at movies. Yes, I'm very critical at the story structure and the lighting and all of that kind of stuff. As a film fan, that's what I've always got my eye on. But I also try to look at the overall experience. What's it trying to do? Does it achieve that? When we go to a Saw movie, do I expect Shakespeare? Does it bother me that people have their phones out all the time? This Barbie, like Fast 10, is going to be like one of those movies where I don't care if people are beside me with their phones out talking and not paying attention to the movie. Now, Oppenheimer is going to be one of those movies where I will be bothered by people taking out their phones and not watching the movie that they paid for. But people are liking Oppenheimer as well. And with a $9 million preview, that's good. 93 by critics, 94 by the audience. Again, awesome. That's great. That's what I want to hear. And this is going to be like the perfect weekend for me as a movie fan and for us as movie fans because we get Barbie that's just kind of silly, fun ride. But then we get to change tone and go into the more serious, filmmaking style for movie fans where we're looking at the acting where it's okay to be a little bit more critical of the composition of shots, of pacing and stuff like that, acting choices, because I think Oppenheimer, I'm hoping it'll get some awards buzz, hopefully for Cillian Murphy and hopefully for Christopher Nolan. And I hear good things about Emily Blunt. I hear good things. I want to see this movie so bad. ABC News says Christopher Nolan deserves every superlative for his take on J. Robert Oppenheimer, a flawless Cillian Murphy, the Dark Knight of the Atomic Age. I see what you did there, Dark Knight. Get out of here with that. This terrifying, transfixing epic emerges as a monumental achievement on the march into screen history. All right, whatever. All right. We'll go through this more in my reviews. I just want to see if there's any bad ones here. I'm guessing the bad ones are going to say something about the pacing. Does it need to be that long? You've heard me rag about that, like 3-hour movies. That's always going to be the question. Does it have to be 3 hours? Did it need to be that? Did we need to see long setup shots of them walking down the road or getting in and out of their cars and stuff like that? It's just kind of like that. So somebody says here, there's a better, smaller movie inside Oppenheimer. It just got swallowed up. At once admirable and frustrating, remarkable for its ambition, but only fitfully compelling in execution, never lands the emotional heart punch you might expect, remaining chilly, cerebral, and curiously remote. I don't understand. That just kind of like, what? What are you talking about? I'm still excited for this. So I'm expecting good things. And if you are a fan of the Barbenheimer kind of hashtag, I guess some fan on YouTube took Barbie dolls and emulated the Oppenheimer trailer, recreated it, if you will, using Barbies. So it's hey, if you like the Barbenheimer hashtag and you want to check that out for a laugh this summer, yeah, are we gonna get the shot of Cillian Murphy or the close up of the doll? Yeah, so Barbenheimer, it's here, guys. It's official. We got Barbenheimer. And which movie are you going to go out and see this weekend? Which movie are you going to see first? Or do you plan to see both of them? Or are you going to let one, maybe hold one over till next weekend? If horror is not your bag, it is mine. So we'll be talking about that in just a few moments. Barbenheimer, it's arrived. I want to see it for sure. Chris Schober in the live chat says, hey. Happy Friday, Chris. Happy Friday. Ooh, what's that floating in my coffee? What is that? Is that a bug? All right. Cool, man. Wow, July 21st. I'm happy that this month is going by fast. I really am. Okay. Comic-Con is this weekend. San Diego Comic-Con. And we're having a bunch of panels this weekend. So if trailers drop, I'll try to do some trailer reactions. But as I said, I'm out of town this Saturday. So talk to me. Talk to me. Comic-Con panel becomes a laugh fest thanks to hyperactive horror filmmakers Danny and Michael Philippou. Now, these guys are YouTubers? What's this? What guy? You look like you're just like a deer in headlights there, like you're confused about something. The twin brothers who came up on YouTube revealed they lost $1 million from their budget after pushing to cast an unknown lead. That's fine. That's just business, right? You believe in some actor out there and you want them to be your lead. If you got control over it, trust me, if you make an MCU film or anything like that, and the big machine, you won't have those choices. So covet them while you have them. So Talk to Me is a horror movie that I'm really looking forward to. It's that movie where it's kind of like a demonic hand, right? Let me pull up the IMDb. It's like a demonic hand that grants wishes, and you ask to talk to like a loved one or something, and then of course it's like a demonic version of them. The good thing going for this movie is it's 1 hour and 34 minutes. That's right in the perfect wheelhouse, guys. This is not what Hollywood's understanding. If you can make a good 90-minute movie, you can capitalize on running it multiple times in the theaters. People like going to the short movies, right? It's just like, oh, we're not sitting here for, a good portion of our day watching a movie in the theater, right? Anyway, enough about that. Sophie Wilde, I guess, is the lead character that they went to bat for. I got no problem with that. I don't know anybody else. Miranda Otto, okay, we know her from Lord of the Rings, right? She was in Lord of the Rings, and she's apparently going to be in the War of the Rohirrim that comes out next year as well, right? You recognize her? You'd recognize her, right? Yeah, she was the one that killed the ring wraith leader, the king or whatever. You'll recognize her. So she's in this movie, Talk to Me, that debuted there. Because they're directors, they're allowed to talk about the movie right now. No actors are supposed to be there. But there's been some people that have been excused from that. They've been able to work around it somehow. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. So they talked about it. We never went into YouTube wanting to be YouTubers. We wanted to make feature films. Well, I do want to make films. It's just, guys, I got too much on my plate. I would have to stop doing YouTube. Right. Corral the people around me, develop the people around me so that I can make the transition to making films. I want to. We'll see. Every fight scene we designed, a new rig or new blood effect, something with music. We always set challenges for ourselves for the videos we were making, just so we could see if it was possible to make something and to gain experience. Oh, good. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. Now, when I mean experience here, though, I don't want experience in the editing bay. I want experience setting up shots, getting what I need to compose the shot later on in the edit bay, because I know what I can do with softwares and stuff, right? For the most part, I do. I'm sure there's like little tweaks and works around stuff, but I would be very much a filmmaker like George Lucas, where I would get a shot of something, and then I know I can composite things later on, kind of thing, right? I would always have it in my head of what I can and cannot do. But it sounds like these guys took a very practical approach. I respect that. I hear good things. People who have seen this movie early about this. Talk to me. See if that's up on the tomato meter. I don't know if it is, but we'll check to make sure. Because it did debut at South by Southwest, I think, didn't it? All right. Why are you not... Oh, yeah, there it is. 96%. Yeah, so the people that have seen it have enjoyed it. Hollywood Reporter says thematically a bit thin, but doesn't stint on genuine scares. Well, yeah, that's what I want, scares. Oh, Perry liked it. Good, Perry Nemiroff. High respects for her. She likes the genre. Stellar feature debut from Danny and Michael Philippou that features an A-plus ensemble of rising stars navigating a wildly chilling and catchy core concept. Well, it's just a variation of the monkey's paw. That's what I thought it was, right? You know that story of the monkey's paw that grants wishes? Let me grant your wishes. So, Comic-Con, panels are out. There's stuff going on today and stuff like that. So, news will trickle in over the weekend. And maybe Sunday's show when we review Barbie and Oppenheimer, we'll go through a few more of those headlines. But we'll pick it up on Monday. Again, everything that we miss. If there's trailer reactions, because I do want to publish a trailer reaction for that Red Sonja teaser that comes out this weekend, hopefully. I do want to publish a reaction to that when it comes out, because I am looking forward to that. TMNT is also at Comic-Con. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kicks off Comic-Con with 20 minutes of footage. This is the Seth Rogen developed TMNT animated version. I was thinking about this in the shower the other day. TMNT, it's a property much like Super Mario. Now, the trailers for Mutant Mayhem didn't do anything for me. But and even the younger people, like my niece said, Donatello doesn't sound like, he wouldn't sound like that. He sounds like he's 7 years old, while the others are supposed to be like teenagers. They're not supposed to be different ages. And if you're changing it, then you're changing it. Why do I say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is like Mario? Because it has that generation gap. It has multiple generations that are fans of that property. I grew up with the Turtles. Now a new generation is growing up with the Turtles. But the problem with the current iterations that I've seen of Turtles is that the mentality of developing Ninja Turtles has been, it's always got to be for the kids. It's always got to be for the young kids. But I grew up with Turtles. Me, the guy with little gray hairs here. I grew up with the Turtles. So why can't this movie also be tailored to me, much like the way that the Super Mario Bros. Movie was? Now, maybe this is. Maybe it is. Maybe when I go see this with my niece, I'll be kind of like, oh, wow. Maybe maybe I was wrong. I'll eat my shoe if that happens, right? Maybe it is tailored for a little bit of me. But like the older fans of my generation, we still yearn for that one telling of the Turtles that's a little bit more accurate to the comic books, where we get to see them actually be a little bit more violent. Now, you don't have to make it super, super dark or anything like that, but we still want to see them acting like ninjas and, you know, taking out the Foot Clan. I want to see that. But it's like the trailers, the comedy seemed a little bit tailored to the younger crowd, and I don't understand that, because if you made it a little bit more versatile to appeal to everybody, TMNT is a property that could make $1 billion just like Super Mario. We'll have to see. Maybe I'm wrong, and as I said, I'll eat my words if it comes out and it does appeal to everybody. You guys know how I feel about the animation. It's whatever, but I would. Where they all start out with the red bandanas, right? Because that's the way they started out. And then you can work that into the storyline somehow, that, oh, maybe Michelangelo is like, well, I don't want to be red anymore. I'm going to change mine to orange. And they have that part of a story, and have that a little bit like, have that be a point of contention between them. And Raphael would be like, no, I'm sticking with the red, guys. You know, there's so much you could do with that, like the small little plot point like that. But anyway, yeah, TMNT. Not to see 20 minutes of footage, eh? So people who went to the actual Comic-Con got a treat for that. Mutant Mayhem. And then, yeah, this one doesn't have Shredder in it, apparently. But they're saving Shredder for the second movie. Yeah, again, they're thinking about trilogies and stuff. Just make one good movie first. But anyway, I'm Reagan, and I know lots of people are looking forward to that movie, so we'll have to see. Saw 10. Let's talk about some fallout of the strike here. Or maybe some good news from the strike. Saw 10 release date moves forward 1 month. First image unveiled. So the release date for the 10th Saw film has been pushed forward, and the first image from the film has been unveiled. Cool. All right, let's just take a look. Yeah, well, we know that Tobin Bell's coming back for this, so there he is. In all his glory. And I liked the last movie, Jigsaw. I liked that. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised on how effective it was, because the Saw franchise got into a rinse and repeat. It's just another group of people going through another set of traps. That's it. But somehow Jigsaw, I felt, did a pretty decent job of reinventing that wheel. And I hope this one keeps with that. Spiral, again, Spiral tried to reinvent the wheel. Spiral was just boring. I was like, yeah, no, that one didn't work. Anyway, first image from Saw 10. Despite my criticism there of it being kind of like a rinse and repeat, I still kind of a little bit looked forward to new Saw films every Halloween. So it looks like it's moving forward before 1 month to September 29th. So it was going to come out right around the Halloween, but now it's coming out early. So it was going to be October 27th, and now it's September 29th. Good. So that'll mean It'll come out and it'll still, as long as it doesn't run out of steam before the Halloween time, it'll have the good build up there, I would imagine. Saw 10. Now, are there any details of the plot? The synopsis? In the Twisted Pictures next installment, John Kramer, Tobin Bell, is back, and its untold chapter of Jigsaw's final games, set between the events of Saw 1 and 2. Oh! See, now again, they're going back and trying to reinvent things here. Set between events of Saw 1 and 2. A sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of his medical cure for cancer. Yeah, we know about that. That brain sequence, what was it, in number 2 or 3, where they cut open his brain and to relieve the blood pressure? Oof! Only to discover the entire operation as a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. The infamous serial killer returns to his work, turning the tables on the con artist in his signature visceral way through devious, deranged, and ingenious traps. Oh, that's what it's about. So he goes to try to heal himself. It's well, it's a raw deal. So it's kind of like, well, you guys sold me a bill of goods. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Well, that okay? Maybe that'll work. Maybe. You guys know it'll be vicious, though, right? Really vicious. So, what else from this delay? Dune Part 2 is eyeing a delay, which sucks. Dune 2 eyes pushed to 2024. Warner Bros. Considers new dates for Color Purple, Aquaman 2. Well, Aquaman 2, I don't really... Aquaman 2 is done. Like, we know that they had the reshoots and stuff. Just keep it at its date. Guys, pushing Aquaman isn't going to help it. Its fate is already sealed. And that was sealed when James Gunn announced that they're washing the slate clean, which they shouldn't have done. I know that I wanted to know the news, but yeah. Anyway, it's not going to perform unless somehow it's a magically awesome film. But I'm not hearing that. That's not what I'm hearing. The Dune Part 2 makes me angry. Why? And I called it. What I said like last year, right? It was like, I'm going to be shocked if Dune Part 2 can make that release date. And it was like, they're keeping it. We got trailers for it. The current slot for Dune Part 2 is November 3rd. 3 individuals with knowledge told Variety Lengerie has yet to approach WB about the move. Yeah, so it's not Legendary's call, though, is it? It's WB's call to release that film. Just release it, guys, and don't. I understand that you won't have the act. See, this is the studio playing a little bit of their hand, showing a little bit of their hand here, saying that for a November release, they have no plans of settling this strike, because if they did, then they would say, okay, fine, because the actors will be able to go out and promote the movie by November. They're saying, no, well, we'll push it because we want to make sure that the actors can promote their films. It sounds like they don't care. They don't. And it's costing. It's going to cost lots of money for a ridiculous thing. Again, to beat a dead horse, it's about using time as a weapon, as a bargaining chip. But some people get exemptions, like Sam Raimi, Mel Gibson, Shyamalan Productions among those granted SAG waivers. They're allowed to continue production during the strike. And I don't know, it's going to rub people the wrong way, right? What can actors do during the strike? Mark Ruffalo. How about we all jump into indies now? Content creators create a film and TV making system alongside the studio and streaming networks, so there is actual competition. Well, just like the way that the Philippou brothers there did, started out on YouTube making their own projects. Why not? You don't have to be part of the big Hollywood machine, and that's what I don't like about See, I would be here in Canada. I wouldn't want to play that game. I don't want to. I would just make my own films, and if we tried to get distribution somehow, if we had to go through them, fine. But I would develop all of this stuff. I would get the actors, craft the movie by my own. I don't know. I say that, and then we'll like beg for the money for help and aid and stuff. But like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. But we know that the actors can't promote the films, but I guess some of them might be able to. The thing about Raimi, Gibson, and Shyamalan is that they're also directors, right? So they can still work on directing. They can't work on writing it, though. They shouldn't be allowed to work on the writing. Is this? What the heck is all that? Are you glad to hear that SAG waivers have been granted to so many projects? All of these projects have been granted. So there's still stuff. There's still, like, look at all this list here, guys. There's still stuff going on. And this is just working titles. I don't think this is, like, confirmed last names, like The Tower, Killer's Game. Yeah. I don't know. It's a dicey situation. You can't go to Comic-Con and promote things unless you're the directors. We'll have to see. Other work actors can get during the strike include non-theatrically released animated projects, corporate-sponsored videos, and audio-based works such as video games, audiobooks, and podcasts, as long as those podcasts have a low budget. So you wouldn't, be able to go on Joe Rogan or anything like that? Or Hot Ones? You wouldn't be able to go on one of those, where they eat the hot wings? Because that's budgeted. That's high budget, right? Huh? We're dancing. We're tiptoeing around all this stuff, right? Lady Gage? James. I can't believe I did that. Let's see if I can fix that quickly now that my computer can handle this computing process. It's supposed to be Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn. Hey, you know what? We're not all immune to making typos. So I'll see if I can quickly fix it. And working on it. 2 seconds more, maybe. Yes. Yeah. Lady Gaga is set to play Harley Quinn in the upcoming Joker movie, and I guess, what is it, the cinematographer recently said something about her, saying that he never really got to meet Gaga. It's a bit of a weird quote that we're going to look at here in just a moment. So, yeah, there we go. Lady Gaga, and this is in Variety, cinematographer never even met the real Lady Gaga on set, called her Lee. What? Lee? That's not her real name, though. Isn't her real name Stephanie or something? What is Lady Gaga's real name? Huh. And why wouldn't you call her Harley or... Oh, Harley. Okay, Lee. Yeah, Stephanie. That's her name. Right, yeah. I knew that. Didn't I? Yes, I did. Harley Lee. That's why they called her Lee. Okay. Still looking forward to it. Joaquin Phoenix in the 2024 comic book movie will return as Joker. Yeah. Gaga by the name Lee. Presumably a nod to Harley. Yeah. That she even warmed up to him. I didn't even know Stephanie at all, Cher said, referring to Gaga's real name. Strangely, I felt like I never met her, even during makeup, hair tests. Maybe it was my philosophy of not trying to get in their space, and then I remember for a week being like, God, I feel like we are disconnecting. Okay. She either hates me or we hate each other. There's something weird going on here. Well, she's probably just focusing in on her work. Trying to pull out this character and put it on the big screen. I'm still looking forward to it. Weird quote. Joker 2 is not going to be till next year, so that the strike should be over by next year, guys. So that release date should be done. Actually, I would expect that this movie should be, well, if it's on strike, does this movie even wrap? Because this movie started production last year. Joaquin was working in December, and then Lady Gaga came in on January. So yeah, no, this movie should be all in the can. It doesn't have like a 6-month production window. It shouldn't. For a principle of photography, I must have done a story where it wrapped. Yeah, I think that does sound vaguely familiar. All right, Chris Schober says, what? Do you think Scream 7 will have a SAG strike for Scream 7? Well, they haven't even announced Scream 7, so you can't really delay something that you haven't really announced. We know that there is going to be a Scream 7, but there's no script for it. We don't even know who's going to be involved with it. We don't know if radio silence directors are going to come back for it. So if everything was working fine, then it should have been coming out next March, but it's not. It'll be probably 2025 for Scream 7. Chris Schober, I just got a 4-film favorite Scooby-Doo collection, Scooby-Doo movie collection. Oh, good for you, man. Have you ever seen the Scooby-Doo movies? I saw the first 2 live-action ones. And that's about it. All right, let's go over to the Reddit Roundup, see what's going on out there. Tony Bennett dies. Yeah, we know that. Lauren Balfe, composer of Mission Impossible, had to ask me anything yesterday on the Twitter. Cool. Gladiator 2 and Deadpool 3 strike shutdowns will cost $600,000 per week. Yeah, and the executives are going like this. Whatever. I make $42 million a year. I don't care if this costs us $600 per. They should, as a stakeholder, I'd be like, what are you doing? Just acquiesce. We'll still make our money. You're not giving them the vault or anything. You're just paying them their fair dues. Settle this and move things forward. That's what I would be saying. Dune 2 Eyes 2024 release. It's not confirmed though, guys. It just eyes. They're eyeing pushing things. I hope that was evident when we covered that story. All right, so this is where we ended off yesterday, right? What is a movie where people try to force an alternate twist out-of-the-box interpretation even though the movie was clear in its intention? I sometimes feel like people try to find an alternate explanation even when there does not need to be one. For example, Top Gun Maverick, where some people tried to argue that Tom Cruise died in the plane crash at the start of the movie and the rest was the final brain shot. What? They thought that he died in the beginning of the movie. I never even heard of that. Yeah, no, that's a bit of a stretch. What's another one that I recently heard? My niece said that Finding Nemo, that was it? Nemo doesn't exist. It's all in his head. It's all in the father's head. That the mother and all the eggs died in the beginning, and it's all about his grief. There was one about that, right? Yeah, Big Lebowski. In No Time to Die, people watched, but Bond get obliterated, then got confused as to why James Bond will return immediately afterwards. Yeah. The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce is dead and Alfred hallucinates him at the end of the movie. No, he's alive. Nolan confirmed that, right? Mace Window. Darth Jar Jar. That's another one, I suppose. That one will, yeah, no. Ferris Bueller is a figment of Cameron's imagination. Honestly, it's not the worst theory, but yeah, that one too. It's not the worst theory, but out there, but it fits with some of the wilder things in the movie. It would have, like, if Ferris Bueller was a figment of Cameron's imagination, makes sense. Like, why the hell would you have Ferris Bueller as your friend? Yeah. I'll say Shutter Island. The ending seems very clear and cohesive, but some people may still argue for the conspiracy angle. What, that they're trying to hide a murderer? You know what? The more and more I watch Shutter Island, I think that it's Scorsese's best film. I'm just like, this is clicks. It's gritty. It's punchy, and people will be saying like, but Goodfellas, James, come on. And you know how much I like Casino, but Shutter Island is just. I watch other people's reactions on YouTube, like movie reactors and stuff, and yeah, Goodfellas gets the typical response to things, but when some of the revelations happen in Shutter Island, people's reactions are just like, and it's a tragic tale. Uh, Leonardo DiCaprio knocks it out of the park. I think it's one of his better performances. Shutter Island, man. Yeah. All right. That's all I got in the can, but we can go over to the Twitterverse and see if there's anything else that maybe has dropped at San Diego Comic-Con. Grossed 10.5 million on Thursday night preview, so they adjusted it. What did we say in the beginning? 9 million? Did we say 9 million? Yeah, 9 million in previews there. Deadline had 9 million. But, yeah, they've adjusted it. That's fine. So that's good. Barbie has grossed 22.3 million in the... Yeah, so Barbie's going to win number one. It's just, will Oppenheimer have enough to beat Mission Impossible in its second weekend? Talk to me. They Clone Tyrone dropped on Netflix this morning, so some people will be watching that as well with Teyonah Parris. We just saw her in the trailers from the Marvels. I may schedule in this to watch next week, guys. I'm thinking maybe next Tuesday we might watch this. They Clone Tyrone. Next Tuesday or next Thursday, maybe. A new poster for the Marvels has been released. What do you think about that poster? Do you dig that? On our Friday stream here, looking at Marvels. It's a little bit of a throwback to the Drew Struzan style. Warner Bros. Is strongly considering pushing... No, please don't. Again, please don't. And it's only because of the strike. Sofia Coppola's Priscilla will have its North American premiere. So this one is still going forward. October 6th. I want to see that one. Mostly because I'm a Sofia Coppola fan. Trailer for Young Love. A new animated series with Kid Cudi. We saw Kid Cudi in X. Teyonah Parris and They Clone Tyrone. Jamie Foxx. Look at that get up, man. Wow. Is it a period piece? I don't know. I don't even know what the heck this movie's about. Did I watch the trailer for it? Emma Roberts, Cara Delevingne, and Kim Kardashian in American Horror Story Delicate. That's Emma. Is that Cara? Kim Kardashian? Yeah, she's supposed to be in that. I never watched that series, so. And it's weird because I'm a horror fan, so you'd think I would. All right, and that's where we ended off yesterday with Nolan talking about Bond. All right, guys, it's Friday. So, that's all I got. That's really all I have. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I have in the can, man. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Shall I do it? this ugly thing. Haha. Changing it up a little bit, changing a little bit of the cues. I don't know. I don't really have that much more. I don't got that much more, man. Yep. All right, guys, that's all. I don't have that much. Joining me tomorrow, I'll be posting my Barbie out of the theater reaction, and then join us on Sunday for my reviews for Oppenheimer and stuff like that. If not, enjoy your weekend, guys. Go see Barbenheimer. Looking forward to it, for sure. It's a good time to be a movie fan at the theaters. See you next time on Mirror Domains.